Welcome to stream. What up, what up, what up? What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello. Happy Tuesday. The day off before my break. Although I might have to stream tomorrow. To be honest with you. Tomorrow there is a patch hitting Pokemon Unite. And we have some patch notes to look at. So let's go check them out. I can't wait to see all the numbers and thoughts and opinions and all that stuff coming out from our updates. Okay, so let's look at this. Update details, bug fixes, text fixes, Spectate feature test release. I'm actually really excited for the Spectate feature. It's only gonna be running for 2 days, so if you don't have me added already on Pokemon Unite, feel free to add me up, because I want to be able to jump in and do a couple of test casts just for fun, and then I'll upload them on the YouTubes. And that should be pretty fun. So make sure that you have me added, and I'm going to randomly come spy on you and make sure it works, right? I'm going to be a tester. Your boy is going to test the spectating while testing my casting. It'll be a testception. It'll be great. So make sure you have me added. And then let's see if there's anything important in here real quick. Nope. No Squirtle. No Squirtle, chat. It's very unfortunate, but hopefully they'll get their shit together and put it out there. Let's look at the other buffs and stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to say this once, and I'm never going to say it again, because I know and realize I'm a toxic MOBA gamer. But these patch notes are incredibly underwhelming. There is zero information about anything, and I hate that things like effects on opposing Pokemon strengthened are the way they're going to write something.
You know those bits are going towards
There are a couple of Reddit users, which let me go ahead and pull that up here real quick.
I was promised numbers.
I know.
There are no numbers.
No numbers.
Numbers.
No numbers. No numbers. I know it's a kid's game and it's relaxing and it's casual, but I thought Heroes of the Storm was the most casual approach. You can do this with MOBAs, and yet it was still loaded with numbers and information so people can kind of decipher how they want to play stuff. And I feel like Pokemon Unite hopefully should follow that in the future. There is a couple of graphics that are running around here. This was made by a Reddit user, it looks like, by the name of Riley Smiley, I believe. Oh, I'm sorry, Pokemon Cast is his name, or her name, and they made a balance update. So this is like a fast, quick approach to look at it. You can kind of get an idea of what's been buffed, what's been nerfed, etc. But we'll dig through each of these and just like I'll give you my ideas real quick. So Charizard, I'm glad it's getting buffed. I thought Charizard was one of the worst characters in the game. Charizard did feel a little bit better when he went like full aggression, and he also had that original bug with Muscle Band where he could put out some decent damage, but we need numbers, so here's a popular number 7. Exactly. Perfect. Charizard getting buffed is only a good thing in my eyes. Fire Punch and his Flame Kick or whatever was actually pretty strong on this patch if you were able to get ahead, but it sucked if you're really, really behind. And his range abilities just felt trash. Like, it honestly felt like he couldn't do anything to anybody, and it took way too long with all the burst that was in the game. So him getting buffed, and what presumably seems like his fire effects, which is how he works, is you put a fire effect on somebody, and then you auto-attack and you do extra damage, and you start critting, especially when you get low 50% HP. All this getting buffed seems good. So Charizard, hopefully, if the numbers are tuned right, should feel fine this patch. We'll probably play him a lot. Talonflame, good. These look like these are all damage dealt to opposing Pokemon increased, damage dealt to opposing Pokemon increased, damage dealt to opposing Pokemon increased. I think he does more damage to Pokemons, chat, which is a pretty big deal. Actually, I think Talonflame is pretty good already as is. He just seems a bit overshadowed by a lot of assassins, Gengar in particular, and then range carries that can kind of delete people because he's very, very short range. So I like him being a kind of a character that kind of moves in and takes people out and backs out. So I think Talonflame will get more kill here, which is good. He'll get more damage and he'll be more approachable in the draft. Hello, good people. Hi, Flippin. Thank you for 16 months. Him getting buffs are good. Great. Good to hear. Venusaur needed some buffs. Most of his abilities, the reason why I actually think he was in a good spot, but the reason why most people don't play him is because he's very skill shot based. And in a Pokemon where people are going to slam their buttons on you and like slam their controllers on their head and run you over, they're pretty strong. So Venusaur kind of falls flat there. But if you were on point and able to hit your skill shots, you are pretty destructive as Venusaur. So these buffs I see as an absolute win for him. Cooldown recruits. This makes sense. Solar Beam. Actually, this might be. I'm going to make a prediction. Prediction time. Solar Beam, cooldown reduced. If it's reduced too far, Venusaur will be a problem. Just so you guys know, because he can hit it from across the map. He also gets pretty solid aim, and it's pretty quick when it comes out. It's very smooth, especially if you go auto attack, special auto attack into a Solar Beam. You pretty much get a free lineup because his vines pull people in. Like, this could be a problem, actually. So we'll keep an eye on that. Absol, bug fixes on his auto attacks. I think there were spots where like his auto attacks didn't feel like they would cleave, and Absol already is a really good jungler. So I could see him doing well. Damage dealt to opposing Pokemon increased. Oh, God, I'm going to assume opposing Pokemon in this video when it goes out. Feel free to yell at me in the YouTube comments. I'm going to assume opposing Pokemon means our opponents, not Pokemon in the jungle. Unless Pokemon means all the Pokemon in the game, because technically everything's Pokemon, right? You're not beating up on humans. Zapdos is a Pokemon, you know? Anyways, damage being increased, I think this will also be another outlier. I think he is like right on the cusp of being very annoying. So I'm imagining with some buffs, Absol will once again be strong. Wigglytuff, good. Wigglytuff needed it. Wigglytuff felt awful to play with. It's this weird like rollout into movement, into like trying to slap people around. So I think strengthening them are pretty good. It's nice to see that there's not too many nerfs actually. Like, I don't mind things getting buffed as long as they're within reason, and you kind of take the outliers like Gengar's Hex Bomb or whatever, and adjust those over time. So this is actually a pretty good patch. It's just a matter of like, I wish I had the numbers. Eldegoss, cooldown guard, cooldown lengthened, HP restoration decreased, Cotton Spore, cooldown reduced, effects on opposing Pokemon strengthened, moves defense, SP defense increase has been strengthened, HP restoration decreased. So his healing seems to be going down, but him as a Pokemon by itself is getting buffed. Seems fine. Eldegoss is kind of like one of those mainstays in draft right now for competition. Everyone's running around with support and trying to make sure that they have heals for the entire team, and Eldegoss excels at that really well. And he's a bit of a bully in lane if you have the right DPS with you, because he can win trades and take out those Pokemon in the bottom of the map and get experience, and then you kind of edge them out over time. So I can see why the healing is reduced, but at the same time, I am a little critical because Eldegoss is the only support that actually provides heals right now, which makes me think they don't really want to have healing in the game, or they don't really want too much support play happening, because Mr. Mime is very, very different in terms of what's happening. So, interesting. Okay, Cinderace. The following stats have been decreased. Attack. Okay, Cinderace makes sense. I think he was a little overtuned, just slightly, but I also think there's a lot of learn to play happening here with Cinderace. Cinderace destroys when he is left uncontested and has time to keep working in his auto attacks. I think his ult is also super strong. I just think a lot of people don't understand how to hit while walking away. A lot of Cinderace's strength comes from people just running away and him getting free hits as he chases them down because he gets movement speed and stuff. If people just turn around and put damage on people, he'll trade out maybe a 1-for-1. I think this is a learn to play issue, but I could see Cinderace needing a bit of a nerf. But I am going to take another prediction and assume that when people get better at the game, this guy will get rebuffed. 100%. I don't think he's that strong. I don't think he's that massive a problem. If anything, Faint is a problem, and that's already been downgraded? What does downgrade mean? Move downgraded? What? Move downgraded. Does that mean you get it later in the game? Does it mean it's weaker? Does it have a smaller window for iframes? It just means nerfed? Okay. Well, Faint was probably a problem. The rest of it, I don't really care too much. Gengar, nerf this guy to the ground, in my opinion. Damage dealt to opposing Pokemon has been increased on Shadow Ball, but Hex has been moved downgraded, so I guess that's the nerf. So I like that, like, they're not making him a Gutter Ball and trying to make you focus on the other abilities as well. So that's pretty smart. I like that. I don't mind that too much. Especially with these other buffs that are coming in. Hopefully Gengar will be more of a learn-to-play thing, where people kind of learn to play around his new abilities and go from there. Zeraora. Spark bug fixes, wild charge, damage dealt to a Pokemon increase, cooldown reduced, unite move, plasma gale. He is a bit of a problem because he can kind of just run at people and hit one button and win. But at the same time, if you take away that button, does anyone pick Zeraora? And I don't think you do. I don't think you do. So I can see why they didn't nerf it. And in fact, they buffed Wild Charge instead to get more people to look at other things. You know, I'm okay with it, because Zeraora can be destructive, but I think people are getting better at the game. and playing around that. Like, you'll see people kind of dance and wait for him to go for his full engage, and then they punish hard afterwards. There's also more CC getting played with, like, Snorlax and Slowbro getting picked up. So if, like, you lock him down, he gets deleted. I'm okay with this, actually. I think if you asked me a week ago, where's there needed to be, and I'm like, oh my god, he needs the nerf. But I think giving some time here is actually the right play. Good for them. Gengar Hex Change, what is this? Move downgrade, move upgrade. Well, that's not very helpful. In the Japanese patch notes for Sex, it says the amount of damage done to the opponent's Pokemon has been reduced, and the invincibility time when activated has been reduced. To me, that sounds pretty good. Okay, that's something. It's still kind of generic and doesn't give me exact numbers, but at least it gives me an idea of where they're going. All right, so is this like a translation issue? Did the English translators just say, fuck it? Here's the most simplest we can do? Listen. I know there's a lot of 7-year-olds playing, but there's a couple of 30-year-olds like myself that are playing, and I'm not going to say I'm the best reader. I don't read that good, you know what I'm saying? I can't put words together and construct sentences like some of these experts out here in the world, but I think I can function if you give me the entire palette of what your Webster Dictionary is capable of. That's all I'm saying. I think I can make it through it. I could. Cramorant, Whirlpool, damage dealt to the opposing Pokemon decrease, damage dealt to opposing Pokemon increase for dive. Okay, I think Whirlpool was actually incredibly good, and I feel like Cramorant players know this, but I feel like nobody else knows this. I think it's because the bird walks around looking all derpy and has his eyes looking left and right, so people think he's obviously bad, but I think Cramorant's like secret OP.
Don't you mean
so
34-year-olds like you?
I have...
Trikes.
I'm 32. Thank you very much. But yes, I do mean that. It looks like they're trying to get you to try out other stuff. It seems like Whirlpool is probably picked up all day, every day, which makes sense, right? It was a long-standing AoE effect. You're able to walk in and get special attacks on your basic attacks, easy peasy, and you were able to delete people if they ever dived you. Like Cramorant, I think it makes sense to try and nerf this Whirlpool a little bit. That's good. He might need even more nerfs, but I think this is a good direction. Machamp I don't play much, but I watch Walter play a lot. I think Machamp's actually really, really strong. It's just that there's not many mains playing Machamp. Let's see. Cross Chop, damage dealt to opposing Pokemon decreased, damage dealt to opposing Pokemon increased. Okay, so it just seems like they're just trying to like fine-tune him a little bit. I think I like him in the game because he is the professional fuck you champion. Like, sometimes in MOBAs, you have one hero that's good at just deleting another hero, and that's all they do, right? And then from there, they have to like outplay and wait for the cooldowns again. And I feel like that hero in this game is Machamp. Aside from his ultimate, you usually don't have like massive team wipes coming from Machamp, so I'm cool with them like fine-tuning him a little bit, but I like where he is in the game, so I don't want to see that change too much. Lucario, Power-Up Punch, Bug Fix, Bone Rush. The Power-Up Punch Bug Fix is that... I wish I had information on this Bug Fix. I think what's happening is there's like attack power items that are being baked into his charge up, and that's why he was doing so much damage out of nowhere in this last patch, and people started playing him more. And I think they probably isolated that and made him a little bit weaker on his charge up, so he won't one-shot people anymore. That's my assumption. But we'll have to wait and see what those are. Greninja, basic attacks, bug fixes, and then Ninetales, Snow Warning, bug fixes. What are the bug fixes? Because one thing that's weird about Ninetales is if you're in a bush and Ninetales' passive is up, she will automatically, or he will automatically attack that bush, and you'll know that they're there before you walk into it. And I think that shouldn't be allowed. I think you should have vision before it procs. So maybe that's what that is. But again, I have no idea. Anyway, overall, cool to see patch notes, even though I have my complaints with how they are lined out. I don't mind Zapdos not getting touched here, but I would like a blurb from the devs about what they think about Zapdos, right? Because Zapdos obviously is on everyone's minds. People are getting better at playing around it. If you're ahead in ranked, you're starting to see people kind of like dance around it and not go too hard. Dreadmaw is becoming more of a pickup for a lot of people. More focus is on him, which has been making the late game a little bit more streamlined. But then again, you have pictures like this. It's just like, bro, this can't be allowed. Look at this. They're getting stomped the entire game. Completely destroyed. Zapdos comes out, they steal it, score, win, right? Like, I just want to see what their thoughts are. Like, I'm okay with that shit being OP. If they want to come out and say, listen, when we were practicing the game, and initially, internally testing it, there were moments where people would quit out if they fell behind, and it felt like we needed some kind of win condition to keep everyone invested. And Zapdos was the pickup, and that's why we made it so strong, because we don't want people to quit out of our Pokemon MOBA Kids game, right? And if they say that, I can respect that. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to know where they're going with all this stuff. So I don't know. Overall, interesting patches. I kind of like where they're going. I like the buffs all around. I like the slight nerf to Gengar because people are getting better at playing around him. The slight nerf here on the ult move, trying to keep his damage down, but also making him committed to his fights. Overall, thumbs up. Thumbs up on these patch notes. I think what I am going to be focusing on this next patch is probably Absol, Venusaur, and then Talonflame. Those three are what I'm be picking up and learning because I think they'll be strong. Oh, and Charizard. I've been working on my Charizard off-stream chat to the point where it's killing my win rate. Like, I so badly want Charizard to be mildly good because I think he has a cool kit. There's something ticking in my brain where it's like, keep playing him. You just haven't figured it out. And I'm glad he's just like so sucky they buffed him all across the board. How many thumbs up on the patch notes? Let's give it 2 thumbs and a pinky. Okay? All right, let's go play some Pokemon.